Good morning, and today is Saturday, the 13th day of April, 2019. My name is Derek, and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like. Well, that's within each his own risk and their own reward. In this video, we'll go over Bitcoin, LITECOIN, GRS, Komodo. Talk about Bitcoin and friends, as well as the spreadsheet that I made yesterday. All right, for Bitcoin, prices are holding and remaining above Fibonacci level number two. The first one was getting above the 4100, and there wasn't resistance here. It didn't have that fast move to the next level. One of the rare situations, and I've seen it again. It's not that often. Is you don't find resistance here, and you have a good gain about halfway to your next level. But good enough where it's nowhere, it's around that. Nothing close to that level. At 54, it's not, I mean, it's like 40% of the way there. I could calculate the exact number. I don't want to, but it's good enough. Yeah, that's about maybe 38.2% of the way there. Either way, a good enough move where it goes towards it, and then it comes back to the sea level, usually piercing lower, I would think. Right now it would be a pierce extra, and then having that as a support mark coming up to it. But normally I would usually think it would come up to like 56.50, then come back down quickly, and then have a very good move to the next point. If, of course, that would be the situation. Either way, as it stands, I had the 4 hour in before. This sideways action means a lot more on the single hour term time frame. But as far as the story goes, these old 3,000 prices right now, not only have they been long gone, but 4,000 was a blimp in the radar. And the story is that big move went up to where we stand now, around 51. It pulled back to 46 high change, and then rallied back towards these points and just chopped around in there, came back down to Fibonacci for its second and what is now its final time. And then it had its run from point A low, this point here, and point B high. The story then changed by having a few red candles down, and it's went sideways, so it's caught up within the 18. As I mentioned, the 1 hour time frame is going to say a lot. It's almost like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Multiple opportunities, this now being the fourth to really break out. For number one would be here. Then it pulled back. Number two would be here. Pulls back to the low. So now the inverted head and shoulders patterns is playing out. Okay, breaking it? No, not quite. And we'll see now if this can do number four and the possibility of breaking that level of resistance. And if it does, you're talking about playing or filling up some of this empty space. Next up is Litecoin. And really a lot of similar sort of deals shared with Bitcoin, or a little bit. It didn't really have the exact where we came from sort of deal. Bitcoin had several runs at that low 4,000 number. Litecoin has been making higher highs and higher lows. How often does it come back to where it came from? In this one here, this high, it went well below it. This time, it did come back to where we came from here because this high was matched with this low. Of course, this high got pierced below. Did this high come back to where it came from? Yes, because this high was matched within this support. Has this high came back to where it came from here? No, it hasn't. And it might not, but a lot of times they do. And if there's going to be any falling from where we stand right now at 78 change, then yeah, $60 is the intended target for price action. To pierce below here would represent just coming in maybe 61, 62, low 60s might be another way of playing it. And as we look at this on the daily, decent amount of work to now even just try to get this back into a bullish gear. It's in a bull market, but what I mean by bullish gear is just getting above the 18 highs. Because as long as it's in this range, And right now I could get the exact numbers. You can see I'm on the left hand side on the blue color. The low is 77 and a half. The high is about 85 and a half. So between 75 and 85, or 77 and 85 rather, that is your correctionary move. And a little below and a little above is just trying to escape it. When we look at this on the 4 hour term time frame, we can see after this spectacular move, and the advertisement is what we're going to see. I'll remove that. I mean, I appreciate TradingView how you need to put them in, but when you put them in every 5 6 minutes, that really is overdoing it. Although we will possibly talk about what might be overdoing it when we talk about Bitcoin and friends, but that's in a little bit from now. So to get things moving along within this, after having this nice second high move in here, supporting it, but unable to get above, and there's a red candle move down. 18 is now declining, showing a resistance signs in here amongst the highs. It has resisted this area of previous support. So if this support here has been established, breaking down below, maybe it'll find a pit stop on the way there, if you will, almost like finding a hotel on the middle of an 800-mile journey. Uh, and then just sticking here at 70 for the night, if you will. But if it does that, I would really think that I'd be pretty pessimistic, or I'd be optimistic that it does come down to 63 later, or it might rally up here, come back down, all that type of stuff. But breaking down below there, it most certainly can take one big shot, just do the whole trip at one time, and make it down to 62, 61-ish kind of area. And on the weekly term time frame, the 18 average of highs and lows is set at $60 and 47 low change. So mid 45, I would have to think is the area, definitely 40 to say the least, the must hold area. Or else this would be that very nasty failed breakout. And the upside target, which I've been talking about for a while, is a break above 125. And against Bitcoin, the volume is nothing compared to back then, and that's because of Binance. They just took over a lot of the gameplay. But ignoring that part, which is really must needed as far as price action in the 18, which I'm definitely not ignoring. Price is down to 154, still well and nicely above the 18 highs, and it's came a decent ways away, but it's still a decent ways from this level of resistance. And there's no guarantee, then I might as well use a monthly on this now. There's no guarantee that this level is not going to be resisted coming up towards it. Or another way of putting it is if that it won't be taken out, because coming up to the point .03 handle, it could easily find resistance, come back to point .16, and then just break it later, or even come back down to point .12 in this wild market. Or it just might come down lower. It might not even come down much at all. It just might go up to point .06, point .07. And I really should be emphasizing big on the word might. But as far as technical analysis is concerned, that's what I'd be reading from viewing such amongst this. On the daily chart, after a few red candles down, it is just support has been found here. A couple days going sideways, which means we're nowhere near oversold or down too much from point A to point B, because there's been a few days and markets going down in time, or well, a few hours I should be saying, going down. And here's a spot where it's managed to come back down below this level of resistance. Now it's in the 18. If this falls below, we see weakness because it's already had this move into like 152, 151. Then I'm going to be thinking there's a good chance that we might come down to this next area where you came from, about the 126 handle. Now let's move on to GRS. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. And on GROESTLPA dot the org, their wallet. This is a spot where I can put it. I only got 0.04 BTC worth, but I got a small amount on exchanges for sell orders ready to go. But other than that, I will leave them here. I have my private keys protected and stored in a private place. And of course, there's a password that goes with it as well. But within this chart, when we look at this, I mean, there's just wild moves on this. You just can't deny how wild when you go from like here up to here, down to there. Uh, just magnificent, magnificent place. So I just had to get into that coin and keep it out after the Cryptopia mess. And I'm still hoping to get my funds there because they have been very, very slow within the turnaround. But if I get my coins back, I guess all would be good. I have some Komodo on there. The only Komodo I have is that's on the exchange is there. As on the weekly chart, it's had started an up move, come back down to this 18 average of lows for the first time since leaving it in here. So definitely had a big, big key area. You want to see it hold this major level of resistance as support. So now it's there. Daily term time frame, we'll see how it plays out from this point. But if you're looking at the buy low, sell high strategy, anytime you see the markets up in these peak levels, yeah, it's selling time. But when you have break a key leg like this, okay, there was a major leg established here at 23 low. Now it went down to 20 low. So that's a decent sized leg lower. And now that's established this level of support. The next key leg lower would probably be a match of this previous level here at about 17.5, 17.6 ish area. Now, apparently, I guess you get free coins by putting them on the wallets here because what I got is the Enigma wallet, which I've already also got my words for private keys. I got a password, so I can go to Komodo. I've already copied my password. I could sign in. And rewards earned. I got 547 of these. And I have to push this claim button to get them. And it's not much. It's like little over a 0.5% of what I own, which isn't much at all. Not bad overall, considering it's been not many days though. But it gets to the point where maybe I need to sell the coin because I'm trading this against Litecoin. Well, I'll transfer these coins over to the exchange and then I'll sell it for Litecoin, which would then go to my Trezor wallet. And on the reverse, same thing. Okay, I'll send my Litecoin from my wallet, buy Komodo, and then send the Komodo here depending on what the trade is. And I'm already, technically, this is one of my coins I'm up on, where if it were to technically go to zero, I've already profited more than what that is in play there throughout the entirety of playing this coin. Uh, XBY would be another one of that nature, and there's so many that I'm not in are technically in it just because of that math there. But that's always a nice feeling to have as far as a trader within this game because results can be so magnificent. And let's now talk about Bitcoin and friends. And I'm going to center the page up so that hopefully you can see the entire thing. There we go. And it's a TV series. You got about rewards, episodes, characters, hiring, and contact. Donate to episode 2. So I really want to talk about their strategy. This is episode 1. Okay, there's a few of the things I was like stuff like there's a few scenes I thought, okay, I know it's meant for adults to a degree, but it's almost written like it's for a child and it's for adults at the same way, and it's not South Park related that way. I found that a little interesting, but overall, I gave it I thought it was pretty good overall. Now, it says only 2.37 Bitcoin to go. Donate to episode 2, budget breakdown. These numbers, if you go to the Wayback Machine, they used to be higher. It was like 15 Bitcoin, I think, per episode on average. But they need 2.37 to finish off this one. Give you rewards based on your donations. And then they got this locked for episode 2. Episode 3 is locked. Episode 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 also locked with the characters being shown below. Apparently Ethereum will come in, but not in episode 1. So it's like the Origins episode on the first one. Now what I am curious about is to their strategy. As a lot of times the big profits can just come via the ad revenue, especially when you get a whole whack of views. I know with my dozens and dozens of viewers, I make dozens and dozens, a few dozen dollars, a handful of dozen dollars a month. But when you get thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of views, well, the viewerships, the amount you can get paid is pretty good. And finally, I have this spreadsheet which I made yesterday. And what I did was I took raw data for both the prices of GRS and the prices of Bitcoin, and started back. I mean, this is day 1147. We can show the row number. This is where I'd be standing right now in the game. So I did well over 1,000 days, and amongst it, as we can see in here, what I would do is I would just put a number 1 in here to represent what the price would be. And in a case like this, I would see Bitcoin going from 11,000 at 11,479. I'd have a buy order in at 5,000, which would be close. I'd have a sell order in at 27,000, which would be a long, long ways away. And statistically, at this point, I started the game owning one Bitcoin only. No US dollars and no GRS. You sell GRS against Bitcoin, you sell US dollars against Bitcoin. There is no Bitcoin against GRS, although I guess if you want to in the game, you could do it. But I set it up so that you would trade. Now these here, with the exception of the three bold ones, these two and this one in here, all of these are sell orders that have not been bought back, which would be 5, 6, 7, 9 plus. I mean, these ones here are so dead, if you will, because its volatility was so light back in its day. And within it, the value of the Bitcoin got from 1 to 120, which is pretty good. Pretty good. And I've done parts 2 and parts 3, but I haven't uploaded them. And I don't even know if they're going to work, but it's 98, 99% likely that they will, because in both cases, I did long videos, 45 minutes, 50 minutes on both of them each, to get to this point. There were a few trades against the dollar in here. And the bold are the ones that need to be buyback. So we'd be having a situation of needing to buy back 11.4. That will happen. The buyback is 7,000. That will happen. The buyback here, these will not happen. These, and the only way this 38 is getting bought back in real life is if it were to go to, like, say, 2,200 or something. But when this goes down to like 4, and it will, of course, that's when the buy will come in. And when this goes back down to like 6,500, seventh, like 6,500, then it would be that of a buyback. But the idea of bringing what would have been then $230 into what was 2.2 million during the highs, it would have been retraced down to 1.382. Displaying the volatility of this game and the possibilities, well, they're endless. Hence the name, one of my old names on here was Endless Mountain. And the possibilities for it, for spectacular gains, can easily come into play in this environment. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.